This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Today's discussion is Charlie Munger Speaks Up. And Charlie Munger is the co-head of Berkshire Hathaway, really with Warren Buffett. He's also the brilliant founder of a law firm, just a brilliant overall person. He basically said in one of his concepts that at the end of the day, you have to get your first $100,000. That first $100,000 is so important to being able to ultimately develop long-term worth. He basically says getting that first $100,000 put away is very challenging, but you have to do that to set the stage for longer-term success. And here, there's ultimately 4 or 5 concepts at work with what he's talking about. One concept is that success and confidence begets more success and confidence. So once you figure out how to get that first 100,000, and I remember this, you scrape to put it together, you scrape to get there, you scrape put some savings together, and then you got to be smart about how you invest it. So success begets success. The second concept that we always talk about is when you start building anything, when you start building a business, when you start building a customer base, when you start building net worth, the first part of that is the hardest part. Charlie Munger says 100,000. Many people said over the years that the first million is the hardest million. And I think there is no truer statement than that. I think that's right. Once you start to get going in the right direction, once you start, we always used to say in business, you have to dig 10 ditches before they start to dig themselves. And that was sort of euphemism for you have to put so much effort in and not give up until you start to see the results of it, and then things start to compound. And that's what Charlie Munger is saying here. The third thing that resonates with me is there are a million statements about time in the market. If you're a young person and you have 30 years in the market, you are far better off than if you started really late in investing in savings. So one of the most important things you could do, and we did a podcast the other day, is to invest early and often, to put away money early and often. And that's really the strategy for longer term being quite wealthy. In any event, thank you for listening. We're a huge fan of Charlie Munger. We love his wisdom, similar to Warren Buffett and his wisdom, just phenomenal. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Again, if you're the first person that listens to this, and you text me with an idea for a podcast, we'll send you a $100 Amazon gift certificate. The only caveat is you can't pay somebody who always claims the gift certificate claimed one in the last month. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast, and thank you to Jeremy Core and his wonderful team. Thank you.